Doamnelor și domnilor, bun găsit la o ediție specială a emisiunii 100%, în care invitat este nimeni altul decât domnul George Soros. Good evening, sir, and welcome to 100% Talk Show. I would suggest we should go back in time, almost 16 years ago. Could you tell me, please, what was your involvement in removing the communist regime from Bucharest?
I had no involvement whatsoever.
Really?
None whatsoever. But I came here after Ceausescu was removed. I arrived in January 1990. I think I was the first civilian plane that landed in Bucharest. There were still soldiers lined up on the street all the way in. It was a snowy day, and it was still very much sort of siege conditions, but the revolution was complete.
Are you still friend with Mr. Gorbachev?
Yes.
Okay, I will reformulate my first question. You are well known as a fighter against totalitarianism and authoritarianism. So, what was your involvement in removing the communist regimes from Eastern Europe?
Again, I set up a foundation in Hungary.
Yes.
In 1984. This was the communist regime, and it was done in agreement with the government, operated under supervision of the authorities, but it prepared the ground for a democratic transition because it supported all kinds of activities that were not controlled by the party-state mechanism. The idea was that the party dogma is false, and if there's any alternative that is available, then the falsehood of the dogma becomes more apparent. And that idea was a very valid idea. And so the foundation in Hungary, I think, played a major role in the gradual evolution that then eventually led to the fall of the communist regime. And I established similarly a foundation in Poland in 1987.
Yes.
And in China, also in 1987. In the Soviet Union in 1989, in Ukraine but unfortunately a lot of damage has been done.
But what are the values of an open society?
It is the values of democracy, but not only free elections, but also constraints on the arbitrary use of power, and a commitment to deal with reality, recognize reality, and eliminate falsehood.
Your most recent book is called The Bubble of American Supremacy. I haven't read it yet, but I'm really curious to find out, why do you think the American supremacy would be that way?
The book argues that after the terrorist attack of 9/11, the Bush administration used that attack to gather support from the population behind the president and allow the president to engage in a war on terror and create what is perhaps a permanent state of war, where the liberties that are so essential to an open society are disregarded, and where criticism of the president is considered unpatriotic. And using that and the attitude of the population towards Roma. Those things go together. And the great hope is that joining the European Union, European Union regards this as a very important mission and has funds, serious funds available, so-called structural funds. And we as a foundation have been sponsoring sort of model initiatives which have affected the fate of a few hundred Roma. But I think by bringing in larger resources, the fate of a million Roma can be affected. What really the foundation has done in 15 years, by providing education, providing mentoring for Roma students, there is now emerging a young Roma intelligentsia that admits being Roma and advocates the cause of the Roma. And that breaks the stereotype that the public has about Roma. And I think that's the first step that has made this decade of Roma inclusion possible. And that will be the second step. And I will really be very, very proud of having are unemployed. They have no jobs.
How long did it take to the American society to integrate the Afro-Americans?
Oh, it took several decades, and of course it's not complete, but tremendous progress has been made. And I don't say that everything will be accomplished in one decade, but I think big changes can be achieved within 10 years.
Let's go back to politics. You are well known as a fighter against totalitarianism and authoritarianism. Regarding this matter, you placed a rather tough attack against Năstase Cabinei, whom you accused last year at that time that he violated the freedom of speech. Did you wish for Adrian Năstase to lose the elections?
Frankly, I don't recall what I said a year ago.
No?
No, I don't, but I go to many countries and say many things. But I'm sure that I had good reason to say what I said, and if progress. It's not in danger because what is considered to be its weakness can be made. No progress can be made. So it's a state of kind of paralysis. And I hope that after a while people will somehow rediscover the need for a European Union that is alive and moves forward, and where the common interest of all the member nations takes precedence over the interest of the individual states.
But what's your opinion about collaboration between European Union and United States?
Well, you see, right now, both European Union and the United States are in a kind of crisis.
Yes?
I mean, in a way. And this has very negative implications for the world, because the world needs a world order, and the world order needs some solid basis. And on the whole, the Atlantic Alliance, America and Europe have provided that firm basis. And now it is disintegrating. And I'm very worried what this is going to do to the world. You see, America under Bush has taken a very nationalistic attitude towards the rest of the world. You know, do as we tell you, is not listening to other people's opinion. We are the strongest, therefore we are right, and that is not the principle.
Maybe they really are.
Huh? Maybe they are, but it's not the basis on which you are right. Might is right is not the principle of open society. This is where I'm so critical of the Bush administration. So because of that, the sort of what is called the international community has disintegrated. And every country is going its own way. Nationalism is on the rise everywhere, in China, in Russia, wherever you look, Iran, and so on. And so I worry about our civilization, because our power over nature is increasing, but our ability to govern ourselves is not keeping pace with our power. So we can destroy ourselves with nuclear war, we can destroy ourselves with global warming, and we are not taking the steps which are necessary to control those dangers. So,
and what can we do?
Well, I think we've got to recognize that there are common interests, human interests, that require accepting the conditions of European membership is making progress towards democracy and also economic prosperity. And that, I think, is a great benefit both to Turkey and to Europe, and it would be a pity to stop it. There were several voices